Now we have side to side, which is frontal plane. And for that one, modification, if my right leg is still, I'm going to step to my left. And the goal here is to keep that foot flat. You don't want it rolling out, right? So if I keep the foot flat, we're actually seeing what's happening. Is it inverting? And at the ankle, we're also seeing, does that hip abduct or move away from the body without any issues, right? So what's happening? Am I feeling any knee pain? Now, if you want the whole body involved, your arms will be up and you'll step. And it's kind of like you're going to, bump a wall with your hip. You want to try to tap it, right? And that leg that moves, the knee does bend a little bit. And I'll show you that knee does bend a little bit, right? You can see it. But the goal here is to see what's happening at the hip, what's happening at the trunk. Is there a nice lateral flexion or side bending, right? What's happening? Jot down what happens when that right leg is still. Are you feeling symptoms in the hip? Are you feeling symptoms in the knee? Are you feeling symptoms in the back, in the trunk, in a shoulder? Now, if you're doing it modified and you don't have your arms up, your shoulders might be fine, but you might actually feel a little something in the shoulder. You never know, right? It could be happening with you. So, and then of course we repeat that with the left leg still, and the right leg does the moving. And the right hip kind of wants to tap something. And if the whole body's involved, you get a little side bending as well. Okay, so that's the frontal plane. Stepping out. We're now going to step across. And so that is it's very simple. A lot of people make it harder than it needs to be, but it's important that you understand your weight bearing with both feet. Because here we're not trying to see how stable are you when you do this. Even though stability can play a role, if you're unstable with this one, we know you're going to be unstable with the other one. We don't even have to test it. But let me show you what's going to happen if my right leg is still. My left foot is going to cross over my right foot. I'm going to put it on the ground. My left knee is bent and my hip goes to the right. So this is all about testing. I'm moving into it and out of it. Into it and out of it. Okay, so your hip is going right. Both feet are on the floor. That front leg, that knee bends. As you can see, back leg, the knee is straight. Again, we want to keep that foot flat on the floor. We don't want the ankle rolling out or in. Okay, and I'm kind of like tapping with that hip. And if you want arms up and the whole motion involved, we do this. Okay. Kind of like I want to tap a wall with that hip, and I'm side bending away to counterbalance. So that's that one. And that one, we're testing a deduction, or how well that leg moves into midline as it's weight bearing. You notice we're not doing this and this and this and this, because that's absolutely useless. It's not authentic human function. We don't walk around swinging our legs up in the air. Right? I mean, it's different. You might be a soccer player and you are kicking a ball, but most of the time you're on your feet running, or you're being stable as you're changing direction. I won't tell you how many ACL repairs I saw in 17-year-old girls from being injured playing soccer because they weren't training in three-plane function. So there's a lot of this that, is great for athletes. It's great for younger people as well. It's not just for as we age or specific issues. It's this understanding this three-plane function is pivotal. To prevent injury, harm, and help people to age without decline, right? Which is what we all want. So that said, it's all about weight bearing. The leg that's still, it's bearing weight. You have something called ground reaction force, gravity. You'll understand all that when you read chapter 10 tomorrow. But for the most part, we want to get that nice weight bearing, what's happening when that hip adducts, what's happening when that ankle is everting. We're having all kinds of wonderful things happen here, right? And of course, we're going to do that on both sides. Make sure both feet are bearing weight, right? Okay.